destroyed the house of God to kill the devil, only to find the devil was never there. The Gustav line was an unbreakable wall of steel, and this sanctuary was its most tragic victim. 400 tons of high explosives turned 15 centuries of human history into cursed rubble in 60 seconds. We thought we were clearing the path. Instead, we gave the enemy a fortress of ruins they could hold forever. Monte Cassino fell, but humanity lost. Because in the end, war leaves no room for miracles or heritage. February 1944. 1,000 years of sanctity stands between us and victory. The order was given. The sky turned black with the weight of 400 tons of explosives. In an instant, 500 years of history were reduced to a pile of jagged stone and broken prayers. We thought we were destroying a fortress. We only realized later we were destroying our own heritage. The battle was won, but the cost was absolute. In the theater of war, even the divine is collateral damage. The order was signed in blood. To save our men, we had to destroy the divine. February 15, 1944. The sky rained iron on a sanctuary that had stood for 15 centuries. In one heartbeat of fire, history was erased. We didn't just break stone, we broke the world's heart. The abbey fell, but the enemy was still there, hiding in the ruins we created, a tactical nightmare born of a moral failure. Monte Cassino taught us the coldest truth. War spares nothing, not even the house of God. 15 centuries of history, pulverized in a single afternoon. The sky over Italy didn't just turn black with smoke, it turned black with shame. The generals called it a tactical necessity, but looking at those ruins, we knew. We weren't just killing soldiers anymore, we were killing the past. Every step through the rubble felt like walking over the bones of civilization. They won the height, but they lost the moral high ground. When the smoke finally cleared, there was no glory. Only the cold, hard realization that war has no respect for the sacred. Monte Cassino stands as a permanent scar, a reminder that in the fury of battle, even the holiest sanctuaries are just targets in the crosshairs. 1,500 years of history, erased in just one afternoon. Jax watched it fall. Even the ghost couldn't ignore the deafening weight of this silence. They call it victory. But can you ever truly win when you destroy the cradle of civilization? The mountain became a vertical graveyard. Every inch of rock was paid for with a soul. War has no mercy for history. It spares nothing, not even the divine. February 15, 1944. A decision that would haunt history was signed in blood and steel. 1,400 tons of explosives were about to rain down on 15 centuries of human sanctity. In mere hours, the pride of Western civilization was reduced to a pile of smoking rubble. A tactical error born of desperation. The irony was lethal. The ruins provided better cover for the defenders than the abbey ever could. The gates of hell had been opened. Victory was eventually claimed. The cost was the soul of humanity. Because in total war, even God is a casualty. The dust settles, but the silence is heavier than the bombs. 15 centuries of history gone in a heartbeat. This mountain wasn't just a strategic height. It was a test of what humanity was willing to sacrifice for a few miles of dirt. We claim victory. But when the dust clears, all we've really won is a pile of sacred rubble. War has no memory. It doesn't care for art or prayer or the 1,000 years it took to build what we destroyed in an afternoon. In the end, the heritage of mankind is just another casualty. And the mountain remains indifferent to our sins. They called it a strategic necessity, but the soul of history was in the crosshairs. 1,500 years of sanctity vanished in a storm of iron. God wasn't watching that day. Only the guns were. We won the mountain, but we lost something the world can never replace. because in the end, war makes no distinction between a fortress and a masterpiece. The dust of 15 centuries settled in a heartbeat. The silence that followed was louder than the 1,000 bombs. We didn't just break the stone, we broke the very soul of this mountain. The irony was absolute. By destroying the sanctuary, the Allies built the perfect fortress for the enemy. A victory, bought with the currency of our own heritage. Was the price of the hill worth the death of history? Because in the end, war makes no room for the sacred. It only leaves behind the hollow shells of what we used to be. The final assault was no longer a battle for a mountain. It was a descent into hell. 15 centuries of history erased in a single afternoon of fire and fury. We secured the height, but we broke the world to do it. The price of victory was measured not in blood, but in the loss of our collective soul. Monte Cassino remains a scar on the map, a reminder that war leaves no room for the sacred. The peak of Monte Cassino stands as a tomb for thousands, a fortress of rubble, blood, and broken prayers. Jax watched as the 1,500-year-old walls crumbled into dust. To the bombs, history is just another target. In one singular night of fury, the Allies dropped enough fire to erase centuries of human heritage. Walking through these ruins is like walking through a graveyard of the soul. This victory cost more than just lives. The mountain was taken, but the world lost a piece of itself. War leaves no room for the masterpieces of man. February 1944. The crown of the mountain, a sanctuary for 15 centuries, becomes a tomb of stone and ash. One man stands where saints once knelt. Jax looks upon the carnage, feeling the weight of a heritage he never knew. 500 Allied bombers, thousands of tons of high explosives. In hours, antiquity was deleted from the map. The victory was absolute, but the cost was divine. Was the mountain worth the soul of the world? Monte Cassino stands as a grim reminder. When the guns speak, even the gods are forced to remain silent. Behold the price of progress. A fortress of faith, now a tomb of stone. 15 centuries of history pulverized into dust by 1,000 tons of Allied steel. We claimed the peak. But as the smoke clears, we realize we've lost something far more precious than territory. Is a victory truly won if the world is left darker than we found it? Monte Cassino, where heritage died and the silence of the ruins became our only judge. War spares no one. 1,500 years of human history turned to dust in a single afternoon of fire. The world called it a strategic necessity. But here even the stones wept for what was lost. The terrain was a vertical graveyard. Every inch of Italian rock was bought with a gallon of blood. Victory was finally theirs. But standing in the graveyard of heritage, the silence was deafening. War spares nothing. Not even the soul of our civilization. This is the true price of Monte Cassino.